A very good morning to all of you. In this class, I am going to start with another important topic of chapter, molecular basis of inheritance, and the topic is semi-conservative DNA. Replication of DNA is semi-conservative. So, replication of DNA is semi-conservative. As we know, the replication is the method by which any duplication of DNA takes place. During the synthesis of DNA, so many enzymes take part or participate in the synthesis of new strand of DNA. But what happened during the synthesis? Because there is no such mistake can be done during the synthesis of DNA. For reducing the mistake or chances of mistake, the one strand synthesize new strand on the basis of complementarity rule, or during the synthesis of new strand of DNA, one strand should be of parental strand. That means always have during the synthesis of DNA, when the new strand get formed or addition of nucleotide takes place by the complementarity rule, for example, if adenosine is present, on the basis of presence of adenosine, always in the new strand the thymine will be added during the synthesis of DNA. So it reduces during the synthesis of DNA, one of the parent strand reduce the chances of mistake, because already the parent strand have the correct sequences. So whenever the daughter DNA forms, so there is no such mistake, because they undergoes in proofreading on the basis of, if any, because 2000 base pair, the synthesis occur at the rate of 2000 base pairs per second. Addition of nucleotide done during the synthesis of DNA or DNA replication. So there is chances of mistake by during the addition. So any mismatch occur at the new strand, so that mismatch base pair remove during the formation of new strand or during the proofreading mechanism. So proofreading mechanism is a mechanism by which the the rule of complementarity should be followed by the synthesis or during the synthesis of DNA, daughter DNA, or on the basis of presence of nucleotide on DNA molecule, the change of nitrogenous bases present on daughter strand could be done during the replication process. So that's why they follow the complementarity rule, or always follow the semi-conservative rule, according to the Michelson and Strehal. According to the central dogma hypothesis given by the Watson, Crick, Francis, James Watson and Francis Crick, central dogma hypothesis. According to central dogma hypothesis, this is clear that any strand, DNA strand which undergoes in the synthesis process, they form from DNA only. So the formation of DNA always takes place from the DNA. So that process is known as replication or duplication of DNA, duplication, that means double helical structure formation occur. Now how they occur? Only because already the DNA DNA are present in the double helical structure. Whenever the synthesis takes place, so always they follow the rule of complementarity during the synthesis of DNA. And during the central dogma, according to the central dogma hypothesis, from DNA, RNA formed from DNA, and the protein also formed from RNA. So here is the gene expression. If we are going to synthesize protein, whatever the protein is, in the form of enzyme, in the form of hormone, just a simple, it is a protein which undergoes in certain modification to form a protein or enzyme and other substance, other compound, chemical compound, for example, just only. So whenever the synthesis occur, the protein synthesis occur, the DNA undergoes in the transcription. There is formation of RNA, single-stranded RNA. All the codes which are present on the DNA coded on RNA that require only that require for the protein synthesis. That means if we want to synthesize growth hormone, so growth hormone are formed by protein. So genes from the genes for the growth hormone present on the DNA. If we want to synthesize only growth hormone, so genes present on DNA just copied on mRNA, and that mRNA transfer into the cytoplasm where the protein synthesis takes place. Each code read by the ribosome and the tRNA and the other transcription factor or translation factor, all these things. Now they read the codes present on RNA and add one by one amino acid, and thus they form the protein. Now this protein is which is newly formed, they undergoes in certain modification so that they can perform their function. For example, if we want to discuss about the insulin hormone is simply synthesized as a prohormone or immature protein, which but it cannot be taken functional. Prohormone is not functional because they do not have such type of functional ability. So the prohormone undergoes in certain modification of protein sorting in the Golgi body, where the modification done on the on the protein molecule, or due to the this modification the C peptide get cut out from the peptide chain, and A and B both chains are ligated with each other through the disulfide linkage. So that protein is converted into the functional protein, insulin hormone. So overall these are the mechanism of the gene expression. So how they perform during the replication process, all these from the genes for the growth hormone present on the DNA. If we want to synthesize only growth hormone, so genes present on DNA just copied on mRNA, and that mRNA transfer into the cytoplasm where the protein synthesis takes place. Each code read by the ribosome and the tRNA and the other transcription factor or translation factor, all these things. Now they read the codes present on RNA and add one by one amino acid, and thus they form the protein. Now this protein is which is newly formed, they undergoes in certain modification so that they can perform their function. For example, if we want to discuss about the insulin hormone is simply synthesized as a prohormone or immature protein, which but it cannot be taken functional. Prohormone is not functional because they do not have such type of functional ability. So the prohormone undergoes in certain modification of protein sorting in the Golgi body, where the modification done on the DNA on the protein molecule, or due to the this modification the C peptide get cut out from the peptide chain, and A and B both chains are ligated with each other through the disulfide linkage. So that protein is converted into the functional protein, insulin hormone. So overall these are the mechanism of the gene expression. So how they perform during the replication process, always in the replication process not fully daughter DNA get formed, because there is a chances if from parent two strand of daughter is formed, so there is chances of mismatch pair present on DNA, new daughter DNA, or it cannot be correct by the rule of complementarity, because we don't know that for example if by chance there is a mistake, here is adenosine and but here is by mistake the adenosine is added into the new daughter strand, but there in the parental strand there is cytosine. So how can we replace it, because the on the rule of complementarity, the second strand will also have the thymine. So we just correct the adenine bond with thymine, because we don't know what their parent strand does have. So that's why the rule of, due to the rule of complementarity, always new daughter strand synthesized in respect to the nitrogenous bases present on parent DNA. For example, during the synthesis of new strand of DNA, each DNA have their parent DNA. For example, here is one parent DNA, this one is another parent DNA. So overall two strand of synthesized, and they do not, if any mismatch pair appear is in this strand. For example, the parent strand has cytosine, by chance we added adenine here. So it can be corrected because the parent strand already undergoes in previous synthesis, they undergoes in proofreading, so they have the correct sequence. So any mismatch pair done in place of guanosine, adenosine by chance added at the new strand. During the proofreading, it can be eliminated from the new daughter strand during the proofreading. So it is important, that's why the semi-conservative rule followed by the DNA. Now it can, the rule of semi-conservation rule followed by the DNA synthesis experimentally proved by the Michelson and Strehol. Michelson and Strehol experiment. Michelson and Strehol experiment. So Michelson and Strehol experiment on the basis done by with the help of E. coli bacteria. So what he did actually, he grew the heavy nitrogen isotope. He grew bacteria in the heavy nitrogen isotope having ammonium chloride medium. So in the ammonium chloride, which in the ammonium chloride, the nitrogen, they took the nitrogen of heavy isotope with N15 atomic number or atomic mass, sorry. So with N15 atomic mass. So overall, when he did the experiment, when he done the experiment on the semi-conservative rule, how bacteria follow the semi-conservative rule, or it can be detected with the help of centrifugation, or also with the help of use of heavy isotope of nitrogen with N15. So what he did actually, first they grow, Michelson and Strehol grow bacteria in N15 ammonium chloride medium, and 15 ammonium chloride medium. So then he isolate these bacteria or centrifugate the bacteria in the presence of cesium chloride. So in the presence of centrifugation, centrifugation done by the bacteria, done by bacteria, centrifugation done in the presence of cesium chloride, in the presence of cesium chloride. So what happened during the centrifugation? All the DNA settled down after the centrifugation process. What he observed, then in second step, they transfer this type of bacteria into medium of transfer bacteria in medium of N14 ammonium chloride and with N14 ammonium chloride. Here is N14 ammonium chloride. So what happened during experiment? Now they again centrifugation done by the scientist. Then after through the cesium chloride. In the third experiment, he continued the experiment for the next generation. Continued the experiment for next generation then centrifugation and cesium chloride. So centrifugation or then after cesium chloride. So centrifugation we can easily. Now after these three experiments, what they identified that after doing experiments with bacteria and in the medium of N15 ammonium chloride, during the synthesis, because every time after every 20 minutes the DNA of bacteria replicate, or during the synthesis of nucleotide they use the medium nitrogen. So in their DNA, whenever the nitrogen is present, always have the heavy nitrogen N40. So we can easily differentiate from the other DNA. So thus we differentiate the parental DNA and the daughter DNA, because always synthesis occur. Always due to synthesis they will show the one parent strand which has 914 or the new, because in the culturing medium if they undergoes in replication they always use the medium nitrogen or the medium nitrogen have the N15 type of nitrogen. So during the synthesis of new strand of DNA will have the N15 nitrogen in the nitrogen group. So then after 20 minutes they transfer these bacteria into the normal ammonium chloride with N14, or then centrifugation done in the presence of cesium chloride, medium of cesium chloride. Then he continued this experiment, and after 20 minutes what he observed. So let us discuss with the diagram what he did. or overall the conclusion of Michelson and Strehol experiment. In the Michelson or Strehol experiment, in the first experiment, first he grew bacteria in the medium of N15 ammonium chloride. Or what he observed in the first experiment, after the centrifugation, they observed that in the test tube, after the centrifugation, they got the heavy band which is present just below the light band. Here is N15 nitrogen and DNA with N15 nitrogen. So overall, after the centrifugation, they got the bacteria with N15 nitrogen. After 20 minutes, then after they transfer these bacteria into the N14 ammonium chloride. So what they observe in N14 medium, after 20 minutes they observe by the centrifugation there is two band, one light band, here is light band, and dark band, here is dark band. So such type of appearance, the bands are represented by after the centrifugation. The light band show the N14 nitrogen and presence of N14 nitrogen after the transmission in N14 ammonium chloride, and the dark band shows, heavy band shows the N15 with DNA. So there is an appearance of hybrid band. So overall this shows hybrid band. Hybrid band shown by the result of centrifugation. Now then after he continued the experiment for 40 minutes. They observed that in the medium there is appearance of hybrid. Here is hybrid, then dark, also dark band also present in such a medium. Sorry, hybrid, not dark, hybrid, and then light medium. So how they observe such type of DNA? So we can understand with the help of diagram also. So here is double helical structure of DNA of bacteria. DNA of bacteria which have, after growing in culturing medium on N15 ammonium chloride, both the DNA of bacteria will have then after when they grow the bacteria into the N15 ammonium chloride, the bacteria will synthesize DNA by the use of N15 nitrogen in their nucleic acid of nitrogenous bases. So both strands have N15 and 15. After 20, then they transfer the bacteria into N14 ammonium chloride. So what happened? And in the N14 ammonium chloride, after 20 minutes, the bacteria again undergoes in replication. Both the strand replicate N15, again N15, or here is synthesis of new strand with N14 because in the medium N14 ammonium chloride is present. So the hybrid structure shows the one strand with N15 nitrogen or one strand with N14 nitrogen. Here is again the DNA with N15 or N14 nitrogen. Then after again they undergoes in replication. After 40 minutes, what they observe in the bacteria. So this during the second generation, the bacteria is still in the medium of N14 ammonium chloride. So we replicate both the strand. Here is N14 strand, for example, here is N14 strand, and the second one strand is N15. And similarly, we can also differentiate these two strand, N15 strand and N14 strand. N14 strand. Now, during the synthesis of DNA, they again use the medium of N14 nitrogen. So synthesis always occur N14. So here is N14. The second strand is on N14, and the parental strand is also the N14 nitrogen. Have the N14 nitrogen. Now here is N15 parental because we take this one strand. When the new strand synthesized by using N14 medium, because N14 is only present in the medium, so N14 is present. So this represents the hybrid of N14 or N15. So that represents the DNA is semi-conservative. In the synthesis of DNA, one strand show the parental and the while the second strand show the daughter strand. Or by the rule of complementarity, on the basis of presence of second parental strand, the rule of complementarity allow the synthesis of DNA. Now here is again also here is N15 nitrogen. The new synthesis of DNA takes N14 nitrogen. Similarly here is N14. So because in the medium only N14 nitrogen is present, so they use N14 nitrogen. So overall this strand represent N14 both the strand. So they are light band that appear above to the hybrid because after the centrifugation process, whereas two strand of DNA shows the hybrid nature of the DNA, and 15 with nitrogen, one shows the N15 nitrogen and the second one show N14 nitrogen. Or this will appear below the lighter band, because of the presence of N15 hybrid, N14 and N15 hybrid, parental and daughter strand. So overall, these are the mechanism or the experiment of Michelson and Strehol. By this experiment, we have discussed, or we can easily discuss or understand about the semi-conservative rule of the DNA. So here is the overall about the semi-conservative rule of DNA according to the Michelson and Strehol. They follow the semi-conservative. One strand undergoes in the synthesis of the second strand only. Both the two strands cannot be bind with each other. New strand cannot be bind with each other because of the rule of complementarity. Because of the because DNA is the genetic material, the mistake cannot be taken as such because it is passes to the next generation. it will pass to the next generation. That's why this is the reason behind the synthesis, behind the semi-conservative rule of synthesis of DNA. So I hope you like this video. Here is the overall semi-conservative rule of DNA. I hope you like this video. Keep listening and watching me, and thank you, students.